Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find her image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind, hold her hand.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Discover. And y'all, first, before we get into anything, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you send this to another black woman in her 20s that needs to be watching this and needs to be in our community. This is another special episode because we are approaching our 4th anniversary. And I feel like I've learned so much. I originally started this podcast for women in their 20s, navigating it, having that space to share what they're going through, what they're learning, resources they found, and all of that. And now I'm halfway through my 20s, and I can sit here and reflect with y'all about just some of the things I've learned since getting to this point. Because it has been a journey. As y'all can see, I'm in my sister's room, Dar. I just came here real quick just to start the video off. I'm going to do like a behind the scenes, kind of like I did last time when I took my pictures. For the pictures I'm about to take today, they will be for my podcast, which by the time this is up, my podcast will already be out. It should be out. That's the way I have it planned. So this will be like behind the scenes on how I got the pictures. The pictures that I'm about to take, I'm really actually excited for. I think they're going to be dope for the vision I have in mind and like what I want to do. So right now they're getting like the bathroom and stuff ready, so we can go and look. I'm just getting my hair together for this, you know. It's gonna be kind of cluttered. My makeup looks so cute.
That was not enough.
Can I come in? I don't want to lay in milk. Oh no. Okay. You don't want to finish. Ready? Done shooting and everything. I know I look probably crazy compared to before because I literally went through the emotions. So I hope that was fun to watch or enjoyable to watch. I'll put like the pictures up here, and also my Instagram will be below in the description, the intro and the outro, so you guys can go and look and see. I'm going to finish getting everything together and cleaned up and put together, and the bathrooms back together and all that extra stuff. But yeah, I hope it was fun to watch and I hope you enjoyed it. Like when I first started recording this podcast, it was the very beginning of the pandemic, probably March, maybe April. But one of the two, if you're OG, you remember. But I was recording on my phone in my bedroom at a house with roommates, my friends, and yeah, I had this idea. I had the cover photo in my mind. We went downstairs and did a DIY flower bath, and that was the cover. Like, I feel like everything was so much more simple then, and it was just like, let me just do this, let me just do this, let me just do that. And then that's how we got discovered. So y'all, I have so many good things planned for y'all. There's so much y'all have been asking for, and I can't wait to just make it happen. Like, I hear y'all. I know what y'all want, and I'm going to give it to you. So yeah, if you haven't already, share this with a friend, and let's get into it. There are a lot of things I've learned just about podcasting life since starting this, and I'm going to share some of the things I have literally right off the dome. And the number one reflection that I had coming back into this season and finally adding video is consistency. I was consistent, but then there will be time, and I kind of said this in my last episode with Jen, where I would take breaks, and the breaks will go out longer and longer and longer. And sometimes, we have to put a deadline. Now, that doesn't mean that the deadline can be extended, because sometimes we have to do whatever is best for our mental health. But if we're going to take a break, we need to say, this is the set time I'm going to do something. Because for me, it would be, okay, I'm going to take a step back, and then I'm just letting it go on and go on and go on. And now, as I am in my mid-20s and I'm reflecting on my podcast growth, I've done a lot of good things. I am very proud of my journey. But now that I'm going into the second half of my 20s, and now my podcast having video, it's like consistency is so important to me. Podcasting is an audio first platform, so the audio needs to be good in quality before the video is. Both are important, but that's something to remember when you have a podcast. It is audio first. The audio is more important than the video. They both matter. But when you're putting this on the other platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the audio has to be good. And I feel like being consistent in your podcast, this is also something that goes into being in your 20s. Consistency is just really important to push through, to do the uncomfortable work, to get to the goal that you want to get to. Is really going to be consistency. And I feel like a lot of the times it could have been an issue for me or for anybody else wanting to be perfect, and that's just not realistic, as I've said in so many episodes this far. And another thing that I can think about with starting a podcast is that your podcast will grow with you. So that means, for example, I started this podcast for women in their 20s to go through things and have community with other women in their 20s. And I started a podcast now 4 years ago, or almost 4 years ago. So my podcast has been growing with me. My content has been growing with me. The things that I'm talking about have been growing with me. And looking back, like, I'm going to be able to listen back and hear my own journey, hear my own growth, and see the growth in the podcast. So it is a way to grow individually with self-improvement and just being committed to something, and to be able to look back and see how much you've grown, but also you'll be able to see your podcast grow and, turn it into a business, how it has grown over the years. So you will grow, and you will watch your podcast grow, and that is going to be very fruitful. You stay consistent and be yourself. Another thing that I have realized since started a podcast that applies both to podcasts and in life is to be yourself. The reason why this one is so important is people are going to be drawn to you, and they're going to be drawn to the way you act, your personality. Like, podcast is going to be talking. They're going to be talking and hearing you through the speaker. Now you add video to the mix on YouTube, they're going to be seeing you. It's a very intimate setting. So it's good to be yourself, so the people that are for you can grow with you and be attracted to you, and you can build your community that way, knowing you're being yourself. And God made you the way you are for a reason. So showcase that, showcase your personality, be free, be who you are. That's just it. And the same applies to life. Another thing I'm learning in my 20s is to just be myself. I feel like that's something we learn kind of as we go, to just be more comfortable with being yourself. And the older you get, the more you realize, like, I really don't care what about anything else. Like, you just want to be yourself and really feel more comfortable in yourself. And a lot of it has to do also figuring out who you are. Like, I think it's hard to say, okay, be yourself, but at the same time, you have to learn who you really are. And that just comes with time. That comes with trying new things. That comes with sitting with yourself. That comes with life experiences. So be yourself. And you will grow. You will find the people for you. You will find the things for you when you be yourself, and you'll feel more comfortable. And, it's going to come with time. So with our 4-year anniversary coming up for Discover, Mother's Day is also coming up. And I know I came back in and I was like, let me talk about motherhood a little bit. And then I started talking about business and, faith and all the things. I kind of took a pause from talking about
the motherhood stuff, or I get really get little glimpses. I talked about it in little glimpses. In the last episode, we talked about motherhood a bit more. But Mother's Day is coming up, and it'll be like 6, maybe 7 months since I have became a mom, and there is a lot to say. So I've shared some of these things before, but my reflections on motherhood is now that I'm in my 20s, mid 20s, and I've went through this experience that matures you really fast, really quick. It is a life-changing, a life-altering process that takes place. And I feel like, you know, motherhood has matured me a lot. I still have a lot more maturing to do, and I'm going to continue to mature through life. But motherhood has matured me quick in like a small amount of time compared to everything else. And it also has increased my drive. And what I mean by it increased my drive is it has made me want to go harder for certain things. It's made me want to pull away from certain things more. It's made me want to show up, go after the things I said I wanted to go after. And yes, because, you know, I do have this baby now, I have my daughter now, and it's like I want to do the best. I want to show up, I want to do all the things and be able to provide her a certain life. But also, just after going through that process, I'm gonna be honest, like I feel like I can do anything. Like I gave birth to a human. I should tell y'all how much my baby weighed. I'm not gonna tell y'all how much. Maybe when I talk about my birth story. But it's like I can do anything, and that's just what it is. It's just a matter of time and the consistency and doing the work. So I deserve to do the things I said I want to do, and I'm capable of doing the things I want to do. And I feel like that's another thing in life. Like when you do hard things, you'll realize, like, yes, it's hard, but you are so capable of doing it and getting through on the other side. And sometimes we'll look at things and we'll be like, oh, this is so hard, this is so hard. But then when we finally do it, it's like, it's not as hard as I thought. Like, yeah, it was hard, but it's not as hard as I thought. Now, that's not the case for when I have my baby, though, because it was hard. It was harder than I thought. But yes, I absolutely love being a mom, and I love loving her. And yeah, I think motherhood comes really naturally, and it is the most fun part. I think the things that kind of like get in the way of things or make it very difficult is the support or external factors. So like, what society expects of you. We live in capitalism, so the things we have to do and to keep up with, and them wanting us to, or people wanting us to be very quickly back into like the swing of things in society. Like that's what makes it extremely difficult. And I feel like our society and the culture we live in the United States, and as a Black woman, is not supportive of motherhood. Our culture is not supportive of motherhood. Our culture is supportive of motherhood for the money and bringing in more people, more humans on earth. But our culture is not supportive of mothers when it comes to healing, when it comes to taking time to get adjusted, when it comes to leaving, the space and the time for the mother and the baby to bond, or the dad and the baby to bond, or the family to adjust as a unit. Do you know how unlikely it is for paternal leave? Like, it's just not supportive of motherhood or having a child or that family unit, in my opinion. Your opinion might differ from mine, but the facts are showing it's not supportive of having a child. So when, considering having a baby, there are just certain things you have to look at and be mindful of, because after you have the baby, the world is going to want you to go. And then other things that are, have to do with motherhood being more difficult, external factors, is just how certain things are navigating. Everybody doesn't know how to navigate or support a woman going through pregnancy and going through postpartum. And I'm not just talking about strangers, I'm also talking about family, friends, maybe even partners. And sometimes it's like, because you really just don't know. You really don't know until you've experienced it with someone. Sometimes you're not putting in a lot of effort or enough effort to try to figure out how you can be supportive or show up and help that mom through that, because it really does take a village. And you know, I feel like our society and generations say, oh well, well, you this and you that, but it does take a village to raise a child, and it should take a village, and it should be a village around. I feel like family is so important for a child, so those things should be accounted for. I don't know, but I'm also an auntie, and I love my TT baby, so I don't know. I may not be the right person to ask about that. You know, with Mother's Day happening, I'm just very, very happy. Like, before I was pregnant on Mother's Day, and now that I have her, I'm just happy to be celebrating this time. And I want to celebrate all the other mothers, because it's not easy. It's really not. It's not easy. It is a lot of work, but it is good work. Like, it is work I will do. You know how you, like, have you ever worked a job and it's like, this is a lot of work, but I love doing this work, or you found your passion, or, you know, your side hustle is like, this is a lot of work, but I love doing this. I feel good doing this. That is how I feel about motherhood, but like 50 times more, because it's like I'm raising my child. Like, this work that I'm doing. And every day is differently. That's another thing. Some days it's like, this is just, I'm doing good at this. I mean, I feel like, you know, I'm doing great at this. Everything's going well. And then there's other days where it's like, this is so hard. Like, I remember the first time our baby slept through the night, and the next day we woke up and then we saw the sun shine, and I'm like, did she wake up last night? But I felt like a whole new person after getting sleep. So going through the newborn stage is like a whole different, it is a whole different experience. But to the other moms that are out there that are watching this, because I know a couple personally that support me, and I hope more, you know, continue to find my podcast and watch, because we are at the point where, we are at different points in our life where some people are starting new businesses, some people are going back to school, some people are having kids, some people are getting married. Like, there's just a lot of things that are going on. But I do want to say to moms that I am so proud of you, and I want you to take care of yourself, because, you know, if you're not good, nobody else is going to be good. Like, I don't know, everyone's like self-care, but I really mean it. Like, even if it's taking a certain amount of time in the morning to yourself, taking time to yourself in the evening, like, you deserve to take care of you. You deserve to be taken care of. And, you know, people should be supporting you. Let people support you and do things for you. And if there's not people doing those things, do that for yourself. You deserve that, you know? Pour that into you as well. I feel like there is research that supports this that I've read, but like, if the mom is doing better, that is better for the baby. Like, especially if you're the main one nurturing the baby. And for example, when you're carrying the baby, it's good for you to feel good, and your nervous system to be regulated, and all the things, and to put yourself in a very peaceful environment, because that literally directly impacts your baby. So still continue to keep that mindset now that baby is here, like making sure you're good, because when you're good, the baby's good. The baby flourishes, you know? And, you know, I could talk about father as well, but since this is a girls podcast, a women's only podcast, this is for the girls only. So moms, take care of yourself. I'm so proud of you. You deserve all the things. You are so strong, and you had a baby. What can't you do? And I saw this post the other day, and it was like, if you hang around me long enough, I'll brainwash you into thinking that you can do anything that you want. And that's me, because y'all can do anything you want. And if you need some support, DM me. I hope y'all enjoy Mother's Day, and follow us on Instagram at Discover Her Podcast, and celebrate our anniversary with us. By this time, the website should be live, so you can go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter, look around on our website, check it out, let me know what you think, and yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But until next time, bye.